All right, I'm really dropping the freaking ball. Forgot to charge the microphones. So that's 2 days in a row. I get some technical difficulties. Not ideal, but that's all right. So no car talk, but plan for today with back. I don't know. In an off season, my back days are going to look like this. I'm talking like super heavy bent over rows to start, followed by pull downs with the stack, followed by cable rows with the stack, followed by maybe a machine row with like 6 plates or something kind of wild. But the point of the workouts when I'm dieting, it's different. It's not complete destruction. It's a little more so actual stimulation to a point. I think when I'm bulking up, I want to do the right amount of volume and intensity and sets and weight and call it right at the sweet spot. But I think that's almost more important when I'm dieting, because not only do I not want to overdo it, but I don't need to overdo it. I want to come in, hit everything, maintain my strength and size, and then, not go overboard and get random tweaks. So it kind of sucks. Like, I prefer bulking workouts. Like, I prefer carved up 270 pound, like just behemoth workouts. They're a bit more fun. But that's just the nature of it, right? Every journey also has a return. Every climb up the mountain, you also have to come back down. So it's just a back and forth. So this is going to be a little lighter squeezing, but that's okay. That's so freaking okay with me. So I don't know what I'm going to start with. I'm going to warm up, and then we'll just see what movement number 1 ends up being. This will be a good start. So 2 plates and a 25. I know I just did that whole shtick by talking about light squeezing reps. This will be a little on the heavier side, but still within reason. So let's just get real. Let's lose the 25 and just do 2 plates for the next one. But that was a good starter. Two. One more. Two. Two. Okay. Let's do something else. Those are really good 3 first sets, though. I think a not narrow, but parallel grip pull down will be freaking sweet. So, is 240? Yeah, that's about right. Maybe pick a slightly better song, and I think 240. Actually, let's get a little crazy. Let's do 260. All right. All right. Okay. Oh, shit. All right, let's just do the one of those. Let's move on to a row next. That's 4 lat focused movements in a row. Yeah, mid-back time. So this row is freaking heavy. I've got 1 plate on both sides and just a 25 on this side. And that is already a chunk. Like, that's not nothing. So half the reason is you got to think the weight is rotating around this point, and my hands are like, 2/3 of the way to the weight. So I don't know the math, but what does that make the weight? It's not twice as heavy. 50% heavier? Either way, it's a heavy machine. So lucky me, I don't have to load 1,000,000 plates. But let's get some 3 days grace going and go crazy. One more, but let's lose the 25. 2 plates will be good. Holy shit. Since this will be a little lighter, I think it'll be a more complete set. That one was probably just a little bit too heavy. I mean, it's a good set, but Two. Holy crap. Oh my gosh. Okay, that was good. I think it's time for a finisher. If you were me, what would you do? What would be the finisher for a lift like this? Yeah, I bet you didn't expect this one. So here's what I'm thinking. Close grip, chin-ups, pull-ups, whatever you want to call it, first as a pre-exhauster for the set. So, I won't sit and like barely do a rep to failure. But by the time I've done 10-ish, I won't be able to do many more. And that'll kind of be a starter fatigue to jump here and do some seated cable rows. The stack isn't that heavy because it's got like the 2 pulley mechanical advantage kind of deal. But lat focus movement, mid-back, semi-lat focus rowing squeeze. It's a pretty good combo, right? Peanut butter and jelly, sweet and sour. Any other combo that comes to mind, and then we can pose down. I guess I got to add one more thing into the mix. Yeah, some spirit box. That'll be good. Okay, that's good. All right. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. All right. Let's do a little freaking pose down. Those pull-ups were pretty freaking quick. It's a lot easier to do it at 240 than at 265 or 270. That's for sure. Morning weight today was 241. A little on the lighter side, but we can talk about it in a minute. Let's go find some lighting. All right, so you tell me, is this too much for the lights? Like doing all the fancy colors and shit. Like for me, it feels cool, but obviously, you got to watch it too. But now this is kind of, I think I'm getting close. I don't, I'm not a lighting designer, so the first few times I put these lights up, I don't think I really knew what I was doing. But I feel like this kind of reminds me of Fit Club in Vegas. Their whole thing is blue and pink, but I feel like the red and blue is kind of cool too. But let's stop talking about the gym lighting. Let's actually see what kind of result the lift will result in. So just through the shirt, no nothing. Yeah, we got there's no flexing here at all. Like I'm just sitting, and that's already reasonably spread. But let's actually see how it looks with some intent behind it. Yeah, we're getting somewhere. All right, let's see. Let's really get to it. So I got to start doing morning cardio check-ins because, especially for my back, looking at it pumped, honestly, kind of does it a little bit of an injustice when you're dieting, at least until you're really crazy peeled. Because, when you're pumped up, you're physically basically inflated, and it kind of takes away from some separation and veins and, all sorts of other fancy stuff in between. But size-wise, definitely a strong suit. Oh my gosh. So yeah, we're getting somewhere. So yeah, 241 morning weight. So that's, no water, no food, nothing after the bathroom. That's a new weight PR for this dieting phase. And by the time I'm walking around 236, 235, yeah, there'll be some drastically different noticeable aspects to all these different lifts and pumps and everything else. So that's what I'm waiting for, really. That's what I'm most excited about. But I think nothing else to say. Let's just get in the freaking car and go home. Actually, that's not true. I'm going to go sit in the cardio bike for 30 minutes first. What am I doing? And then we can get in the car, and then we get out of here. So I'll see you in a second. All right. Yeah, I'll tell you this. 40 minutes on the bike passes rather quickly when you're watching an episode of Landman. I'm on the second. Well, I got halfway through because I didn't realize that it was out until I saw a TikTok clip of it. But yeah, I guess now I know. Every Sunday? I don't know. Either way, good show. And that's, that's probably one of the only times where just sitting and distracting yourself on your phone is an asset to whatever you're doing in the moment, because I don't need to sit and write out my workout program, or I don't have to think about every pedaling action of the cardio. It's pretty mindless, and it's just, you do get into a groove. So, I understand the disdain. I understand, cardio's not cool. Cardio kills gains. The propaganda we've been fed for a while. But I tell you this, 30 minutes of cardio on the daily is a pretty powerful thing, that's for sure. I'd say, out of everything, probably the three biggest changes somebody could do to their weekly routine or their whatever, in terms of working out, would be obviously working out, semi-daily, 5 days a week minimum. But I'd say, honestly, I'm cool with every day. but you don't have to do, like, guys take 2 rest days a week and they're a Mr. Olympia, or, you know, so it's not like you have to do it every day. I like it, and that's why I do it, because it's fun for me. But if I wanted, I mean, I guess I could probably, I don't know. I mean, I think I could still make gains doing 3 times a week. I think it's not what I would want to do. You know, it's not like the kind of training routine that I would probably prefer. But I guess you could do it. But that's not what I'm trying to say. That's not what I'm trying to say. So adding a weight-based session into your routine, that's number one. Whether it's like a push-pull legs, even if it's like a full body, you know, just from 0 to anything is huge. So even if you came in and all you did was basically just tell yourself, all right, I'm going to come in and I'm going to do 1 set pretty hard of everything. I'm going to do a set of curls, I'm going to go pretty hard. I'm going to do a set of leg extensions, I'm going to go pretty hard. I'm going to do a set of, you know, this, that, or the other, machine chest press, you know, to go, and what I'm saying is to do 0 training, like someone who doesn't go to the gym at all, to only add like coming in and, like, you know, not screwing around, but just grabbing random equipment and doing some heavy sets, or at least some hard sets, and like you're not kidding yourself, the dude really is going hard. That's huge. Add 30 minutes on the seated bike or on the treadmill to that, and have the guy, you know, eat his proper protein amount for the day. So 180 pound dude, 180 grams of protein. That's huge. That's massive. Like, even going from nothing to gym constantly, or not constantly, but consistently, plus counting your protein. I mean, that's what, probably more than 60% of the way there. You know, it diminishes over time, because let's say you maybe change from just coming in and like messing around for a while. When I started working out, I somehow convinced my dad to get me a bench set with like a rack. You know, I'm like a 160-pound kid in high school. We already had a barbell and some weights, and I wasn't even like lifting in the conventional sense. I would just go down and do a couple hard sets of, not even like real sets, like just 3 rep sets of bench, just to see what I could do and like kind of play around with it. Like, there's no program, there's no anything. And then, you know, fast forward, you know, now look what's going on. So it's not so much that you need to have the perfect plan. Just kind of throw yourself in and, you know, see what happens, right? Which I think is the opposite of the logic and thought process of a lot of people right now when it comes to the gym. And it's, you know, I guess I play into it because, you know, I'm playing into this idea that all of the people in the gym are always like a freaking bodybuilder maniac. They know what they're doing. They, you know, and it's, so that kind of motivates this idea that, okay, I want to go to the gym and I don't want to make a fool out of myself. I want to look like I know what I'm doing. So I want to research every little tiny detail about the gym that I can before I go, so I'm already experienced. You know, and that's, like, obviously I understand the logic, but, you know, in practice, like in reality, I'd say don't sweat it, right? Just get in there and hit it, and, you know, learn as you go. But that's, you know, it's not necessarily the most comfortable state to, like, not really know what you're doing, not be super confident in what you're doing yet. But the only way to get better at something, if you suck at it, is to, you know, practice it and, you know, just kind of learn and see what happens. And I don't want to say, I'm not saying suck at it like that. I'm just saying, like, you've never done it before. If you said, Sam, play something on the piano, couldn't even do it. Not even a freaking chance. You know, so I would suck at it because I've never done it before. But I guess that's my main point, right? Don't freak about the details. It'll all kind of iron itself out as long as you're consistent, right? But, you know, once you're, you know, year 1, year 2, year 3 of working out, that's when you'll probably start trying to focus on those little details a bit more and really try to kind of optimize things for your own routine. But, you know, there's no point freaking out about that in the beginning. You got to start with addition and subtraction before you can get to derivatives and integrals and all sorts of that crazy freaking BS. What is it? Calc. Ah, crap. What's the one with polar coordinates and you're doing triple integrals? That was the craziest class I ever took. And so, kind of my point, you don't start there, but if you work your way up, it starts to make sense over time. So yeah, sorry about no car talk. I gotta get my camera set up back on track. I lost the suction cup. I keep letting my freaking microphones die. I guess that's good. I'm not getting distracted with the camera, and I'm forgetting about it on the way into the gym because I'm thinking about the weights. You know, I wouldn't like, this is secondary. I want the workout to be the primary focus. But good day, a very good Sunday. So I'm going to go back. I don't know. I'll either go back or just I'll go in the basement for my night session of cardio. And it's nothing crazy. I'm not doing sprints. Just 30 minutes in moderate difficulty. But that adds up to an hour a day. However many more days left of this dieting phase, it's going to make a difference. It's slow, but it's steady, right? It's steady. I'm certainly leaner than I was in the beginning, and that pattern will continue because I'm going to make sure all these different kind of things are in place and being done right. So nothing else to say there. I'll see you tomorrow.